Just days ago, the serene coastal ambiance of Melaque, a picturesque beach town in Jalisco, Mexico, was shattered by a harrowing shark attack, claiming the life of Maria Fernanda Martinez Jimenez, a 26-year-old marine biology graduate and mother to a 5-year-old girl. Now, in what seems to be a surge in recent shark attacks globally, all of which we've covered here in recent episodes, which I'll leave for you at the end screen of this video for those of you who aren't aware, reading about this latest incident was quite emotional, especially as a parent myself. The story really hits different given the details, and I guess I kind of just wanted to put that out there before jumping into the story. So on Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, Maria and her young daughter arrived at the serene Melaque Beach, located just west of the Manzanillo seaport in Jalisco, Mexico. So not long after arriving, they changed into their swim gear, and just minutes later they entered the warm waters and began swimming to a popular floating playground about 75 feet from shore. Now, upon arriving near the ladder at the base of the playground, Maria tried to help her daughter onto the platform, at which time she was abruptly struck by a powerful force from below. A large bull shark, considered one of the most aggressive and thus dangerous of all shark species, attributes which are largely owed to their high levels of testosterone, it managed to clamp its jaws around her leg, inflicting lethal injuries and leading to massive bleeding. Now, Maria's daughter, who was shocked by what she was witnessing, of course, she was frozen solid right next to her mother as she was being attacked, and knowing very well that her child was also at risk, the courageous mother would at this point, likely with the help of a surge of adrenaline, manage to lift her daughter onto the playground and out of harm's way, likely saving her from an attack as well. Now, it's also highly important that I note that since this incident just recently occurred and reports aren't exactly clear on how the incident unfolded, I did also, while researching this case, read an alternate report telling the story slightly differently. Now, this specific report, it said that as Maria and her daughter were swimming to the playground, Maria suddenly noticed a large shark in the water and thus attempted to rush her daughter onto the platform in a panic, an action which caused the shark to ultimately attack her instead of her daughter. So although the result was of course the same and Maria did end up losing her life regardless, I did think that it was important that I mention this alternate report just in case the details do turn out to have some truth to them. Now, as her daughter's screams and those from eyewitnesses pierced the air, rescuers were quick to arrive, but would just moments later declare Maria dead and her injuries prove fatal. A distressing video would then surface on social media not long after the attack, capturing the aftermath of the tragic incident. It showed Maria lifeless and being carried away from the Pacific Ocean to the sandy shore by rescuers. Now, in this horrifying footage, you can hear off camera the voices of bystanders echoed in disbelief, with one in particular shouting, "She's lost her leg." Now, not to mention this harrowing moment, it unfolded as a swimming race was going on just nearby, adding a sort of surreal contrast to what is otherwise considered a fun and peaceful event. Authorities swiftly went on to close the beaches in Melaque and the adjacent town of Barra de Navidad to swimmers, and were also of course forced to halt the aforementioned swimming race, which was ongoing during the time of the attack. Now, an analysis of the bite marks on Maria's leg would lead experts to conclude that this was the work of a bull shark. Now, as I briefly touched on before, primarily due to the highest testosterone levels in the animal kingdom, bull sharks are known for their aggressive nature, and are thus considered one of the most dangerous shark species to humans. And not to mention, bull sharks, they're often found in shallower waters, which are also often frequented by swimmers and surfers, which of course also adds to the risk of attacks happening. Roughly 10 to 15 bull shark attacks are reported annually, and these attacks predominantly happen along the coasts of the United States as well as Australia. It's also highly worth noting, however, that despite their relatively low reported attack numbers, bull sharks are thought to have attacked and killed many more people in attacks that either went unreported or cases in which the identity of the culprit shark was not conclusive. Encounters with bull sharks are often severe, frequently leading to grave injuries or fatalities. And since these formidable marine predators can grow over 10 feet in length, weigh up to 290 pounds, and are known for their powerful bites, it's no wonder why most encounters with these species of sharks result in either significant harm or in tragedies like Maria's. And finally, when it comes to Mexico specifically, historical data underscores the infrequency of such events, as there have been a total of 95 shark attacks reported in Mexico since 1845, out of which 44 have been fatal. Now, despite the total number of attacks being low, the percentage of fatal attacks is a significant 46.32%. Among these, 68 attacks were unprovoked, meaning they occurred unexpectedly, while 27 of them were provoked by human actions. The statistical context adds a sobering perspective to the Melaque incident. The fact that nearly half of the shark attacks in Mexico have been fatal is a stark reminder of the potential dangers that these marine predators can pose despite their overall rarity. If this episode piqued your interest, then our previous episode about the most recent shark attack that occurred in the Bahamas that saw a woman's life come to a tragic end is likely to do the same. You can find it on the end screen of this video.